Welcome to another episode of Touring the AFC South. This is the Women's History Month edition. Of course, we have all Black women as guests on the show for this month. And hey, if you don't like it, hey, that sucks for you. But as far as the show, this episode, I brought on someone I've known for quite a while. We met up, I would say, probably there was a big group of Black creatives, and it started on like Group Me, and then it went to some other iteration. But anyway, there was like hundreds, if not, there was like hundreds of us in there in one big old group, just big old conversation. And this particular person that I'm talking to, of course, Ashley is her name, does poetry and does like a lot of painting and things like that. Ashley, what is going on? Long time, no talk.
I know, right? Well, we talk in between time, in between life. Everything is good. No complaints for real. Like life is good.
Yeah, definitely. Life is good. Women's History Month, gotta show love to the Black queens. Gotta do that. But before we get into your story, we gotta talk about somebody else on this show because of course, we gotta do the Black Girl Magic moment for the show for Women's History Month. And there is no other than one. There's no other person I can really think of kind of going into this show that was kind of on my mind than Dana Owens. For those that don't know who Dana Owens is, that's Queen Latifah's government name. Now, I will tell you, she has done so many things. I mean, of course, everyone first knows her from the music. Of course, UNITY, everybody knows that. Or Ladies First, everybody knows that one. But she has done much more than just be a rapper. She has also won a Primetime Emmy for Bessie that was on HBO back in 2015, I believe is when that was. Of course, she has been an actress in Chicago. She has been an actress in, of course, Set It Off. Everyone remembers that role. Come on now. That's legendary.
Yo, come on.
Of course, she's currently now. What's that?
I said she played that role.
Yeah, she did. She currently is in The Equalizer on CBS, which is in its fourth season, which I don't miss that show. I watch that show every week it comes on. I enjoy it. But anyway, that show. And of course, Chicago, Hairspray. She was in those. She actually did a jazz vocal album as well as just a traditional vocal album as well. Was nominated for Grammys on both of those. And of course, BET Lifetime Award, 2021. She got that. And also 2006, here's a little known fact that probably a lot of people don't know. 2006, she was the first hip hop artist to have receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
What?
Yes, she was the first hip hop artist to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yes.
In my backyard, and I
didn't know. Yes, that is true.
I'm hurt. No, that is dope, yo. That is all hell. All hell, though.
Yes, definitely. Of course. Screen Actor Guild Award. She's had 3 of those. She's had an Emmy. She's got a Gold Globe Award, a Grammy Award. You name it, she has got the award.
Yeah.
So all hail the queen, as you said, Ashley. I mean, isn't it amazing how she just came from a young girl in New Jersey to where she is now?
Right. And I honestly wonder if she foresaw that. You know what I mean? Because not most people, but some people are just like, I just want to be a rapper. I just want to inspire people. I just want to be a rapper, whatever. And then they'll probably like, okay, I'll try a little acting. It ain't what I really want to do, but I'm going to just try it because, somebody encouraged me to. And then it turned, and it just snowballs after that. So I wonder if she foresaw all of this coming.
Yeah, interesting to, I guess, find out someday when they do her biography or biopic, I should say, and who plays her in the biopic. That's going to be interesting as well. But I also have to mention as well, one of the first movies where anyone saw her, House Party 2.
She sure was.
Yeah,
I had to think. Yeah, she sure was, because that's when she was still wearing the
Yeah.
What it is? Yes. Mm-hmm. I remember that.
Yeah. But of course, we're gonna go from all hail to queens, and we're gonna talk about this queen that's on the show, Ashley, of course. But we're gonna talk about little Ashley first. Now we're gonna talk about little Ashley. Okay, so
Ashley.
tell everyone where you grew up.
I grew up in Southeast San Diego. Dago.
Right.
That's where I grew up.
All right, all
Sunny
right,
San Diego.
all right. You said Southeast San Diego, like you was about to say Southwest or Watts or something like that, didn't you? I mean,
Well, it's considered the hood out here. So let's see.
ah,
Yeah, so Southeast back in the day when I was growing up, it was a little rough. It was a little rough.
okay, all right, okay, all right. So, so how was it kind of growing up there? Just in San
Man.
Diego, sunny San Diego.
I mean, 70-degree weather year round, except for in what we call the winter season when it rains or when it's cold. I never got good grades. Well, I wouldn't say
Mhm.
never. Let me backtrack. I got good grades up until probably like the seventh grade. And I always had it in my mind like I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't want to work for nobody else. I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't want to do any of that. But growing up, I mean, I had a good childhood. I cannot deny that. I had a very, very blessed childhood. My parents are still married. Um, and yeah, it was good.
Mhm.
I can't deny that. Like I said, it was a little rough around the edges only because of the neighborhood, but everybody still looked out for each other at the end of the day. So
Mhm. Now you
here I
did say it rains sometimes in winter times. Hold on. We basically are saying that Tony is a lie because they
yeah,
said it didn't rain in Southern California.
it does. Okay. It does. We just had a flood a couple weeks ago, which never happens. That was like the first time it happened in that particular area, which is Southeast, which is where I grew up. But yes, he lied. It rains here. Okay. We do have rainy seasons.
Sadiq, Raphael Sadiq, man, shame on you, Raphael Sadiq. But but what is speaking of your childhood, what is one of the biggest childhood memories that you have and kind of still hold to this day?
Oh man. Oh, okay. So I was in the sixth grade, and it was the sixth grade graduation. During this time, I had a black teacher. Shout out to Mr. Martin because he's the one that actually got me into writing poetry, right?
Mhm.
So he did a contest. The He had a contest, and the person who wrote the best poem will be able to recite it at the sixth grade graduation. And I won first place.
Oh, okay, all right. So they couldn't tell you nothing for that whole rest of the day or week or
At all.
whatever.
At all for the rest of my life, to be honest. Because after that, I was like, "Oh yeah, girl, you a poet. Let's go."
So what did you said that you wanted to be an entrepreneur and it kind of hit you early, but I know you had to have some thoughts on other things you wanted to be. So what are some of the other things you kind of originally wanted to be growing up?
So before poetry, I actually wanted to be a criminal lawyer.
Ah, okay. Law and Order SVU. Okay.
Yes, I wanted to be a
Okay.
criminal lawyer, and I wanted to be a criminal lawyer so bad that I went to my mom, told her what I wanted to do, and she brought me a criminal law book. Read the book front to back. Then I researched like how long it would take me to become a lawyer. As soon as I found out how long it actually takes, like all the schooling, dream dead. Didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I would say I
Not
had a
honest.
dream of a. I, I would say I wanted to be I wanted to be a sports agent at one point in time. And
Okay.
I went to college and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play ball and eventually after that I'm gonna try to be a sports agent. Well, I found out all the things that went into that, and I was like, yeah, nah, that
Not
not gonna work. It'd be nice, but
right.
nah, So I was gonna go from so if anybody's keeping score has been watching and listening to my show over the years, I went from wanting to be a professional football player to wanting to be a sports agent to nah. It just ain't neither one of them two gonna happen. We just gonna make it work how it works. That's just what it
There
is.
you go. Isn't it crazy how that happens though? I think that's insane because kind of the same thing with me. Like I wanted to do criminal law. Nope. Then after that, I was like, oh, I'll do journalism because I'm so good at writing. Nope. Then I was like, oh, I'll be a music journalist because I love music and I love writing. Nope. So yeah. I think it's crazy how that transpires.
Right. And of course, me and you both are creatives. And for those that don't know creatives, what creatives are, would you kind of like to educate them on what creatives are real quick?
We are a very complex, eclectic group of people who, oh my God, 1 minute we'll do one thing and the next minute we're doing something else. Like you got to keep up with us. That's how you literally have to keep up with us. And because our minds just be like miles a minute. And we have so many thoughts and so many ideas. And I feel like we as creatives, we already see the bigger picture before we've even gotten to like the second chapter. We done already finished the book. It's already written, whatever, but we just got to take those necessary steps. And I honestly,
that's the worst part sometimes.
That is, I think that's what hinders us though from finishing projects. I honestly think that.
Right.
But
yeah, it definitely does. I mean, I've got so many ideas I've thought of. I mean, and I'm just like, okay, okay, cool. I want to do this, and then I think about how long it's probably going to take, and I'm like, something like that. It happens.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna just write the idea down. We'll table it for later. That's what I do. I write everything down, all my thoughts, all my ideas. Hell, I even write when I'm going to work out. Like I have to write it down, or else if I don't, I'm just going to forget it. So I just write it down real quick and be like, all right, we just going to table that. Be bold, take risks, live life freely, lead by example, trust your gut, say what you feel, mean what you say, express gratitude, believe in your power, exceed your expectations, dance the night away, skip down the street, don't take no for an answer, be your best self, don't look back. I do all of that in 24 hours. That's a creative.
There you go. I knew you knew where I was going. But I write like all my ideas in these type of books. So if anybody sees these books around me, they can probably see any ideas I've ever thought of in these books, basically. So I had to grab that real quick. I was like, yeah, she'll get where I'm going, but I also got something else there.
Oh yeah. I got so many journals, and even when I'm at work, because I have a 9-to-5, of course, and sticky notes. Sticky notes, stick them in the journal. Sticky notes, stick them in the journal. Okay, I got to write this down in my journal. Yep. Something about a good journal. That good paper and pen, baby, never fails.
Right. I mean, honestly, it never does. I mean, I take notes and write down notes and all that type of stuff. As podcasts keep going, I'm over here writing notes down, but people just don't see me. I kind of move my hands below the screen, so here my hands are. But anyway, I kind of move my hands below the screen. People don't see it, but that's another, I guess, trick of the trade that no one really needs to know. But I guess, kind of talking to myself a little bit. But definitely
down at the screen, like, is his hands moving? Let me see his arms. His arms moving.
But definitely want to kind of get more into the art and the poetry side of you, of course, obviously. But we do have to pay these bills, and that means commercial breaks. So on Touring the AFC South Women's History Month edition with Ashley, we're going to talk a little art and poetry up next on Touring the AFC South.
A shift. A shift is something that happens and changes the dynamics. And that's what happened when Garrett Logistics was born. After 10 years as a sales pro in the logistics world of sporting goods, John Garrett decided to pivot to the world of freight and start a brokerage. So you're saying to yourself, why trust Garrett Logistics? Well, Garrett Logistics helps shippers improve overall workflow, along with increased on-time pickup and delivery percentages. Last-minute loads, multi-drop pickups, and more are part of the services with Garrett Logistics. They're available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., all times Central Standard Time. So give them a ring at 615-400-8484. That's 844-800-8484, or you can email them at john@garrettlogistics.co or visit their website at garrettlogistics.co. Garrett Logistics, where the motto is, it's not just freight to us, it's your business.
All right, and we are back on Touring the AFC South Women's History Month edition. Of course, again, if you're not aware, it's all Black women all the time in March, Women's History Month. So we gotta show love to the queens. But I've got to get into the art and poetry now. When did you kind of find your love for art? Because I've seen your paintings. I mean, I've seen they're definitely very, very interesting. They tell a story, and it's almost like you're getting out either your feelings or your mood all throughout the painting. So, how did you kind of first start painting?
I started painting in the 8th grade. I've always drawn. I still have old drawings that I've done, and my parents keep everything that I've ever done. Kids, bad grades, all of it. So I still have all of my old drawings from the 8th grade. So from the 7th grade, sorry. So I started drawing at first. And then I transitioned to painting because I had an art class. And in that art class, we had to paint. And that's where it just went from there.
I tried painting one time, and I just ain't. I'm not proficient at that. The paint was way too thick, and it was just all kind. It looked like a hot mess. It really did.
You gotta take your time. You can't rush it. It's really, like you said, you're telling a story. So you gotta take your time. You can't rush it. Yeah, that's probably what you was doing. You was rushing. You was trying to get finished quick.
Yeah, I was looking around. I was like, I got 45 minutes to finish this. We're going to get this done.
And that's why it came out a hot mess.
Yeah, it did. It was pretty bad. But now, as far as poetry, did you start back in middle school, or did you kind of start a little bit before that in terms of poetry?
Before that.
Okay.
Well, I started in elementary school, so 6th grade. And then from then on, just all the time, writing. Because that's all I used to do was read, write, and go outside and play. Oh, and I play video games too every once in a while. But reading and writing, that was all I was doing.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I definitely I don't know, as you already know from when we had the creatives group. Of course, I didn't pick up all this writing and all this different. Well, the creative writing, I didn't pick that up till I got to my 30s. So picked all that up and then started writing these stories, and people were looking like, "Did he really just start writing? Because this was kind of good." I mean,
I remember because I
kind of was like
you wrote that. You wrote that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I gotta tell you a story about something. I'll tell you that after the show. But yeah, as far as the art and things like that, can you kind of describe what kind of art that you do?
Man, no, because I'm a creative. Like what?
Like do you have a style, or do you have a particular, a technique or anything of that nature?
I wouldn't necessarily say a technique, but I feel like my style is I definitely do Afrofuturism art. A lot of sci-fi kind of black empowerment art. That's what I do. All acrylic. Sometimes I may use glitter or glow in the dark paint and stuff like that, but all acrylic. Never done oils before. I've never messed with watercolors before. I love me some acrylic paint. Okay. It dries faster. I can mix my colors. I love it. I love acrylic paint. So yeah, definitely black empowerment, Afrofuturism. I love using bright colors like pinks and yellows, purple. I love using white too, just because it's a good mix. I definitely love what is it, galaxy type of style, you know, with those kind of colors, like the blues and the purples and the turquoise and the black. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So are you kind of more self-taught, or did you kind
Yes,
of just okay?
I'm self-taught. I did not go to school for art. Never took a class actually. I tried. I tried to take an art class and I did not like it.
Hmm.
So I dropped out.
It's almost like you stifling my creative here. But
Exactly. No, that's exactly what it was because they want you to do whatever's in the curriculum and you got to do it this way and you got to do it that way. I'm like, I don't want to do it like that though. I can't like that. Like you just give me a topic and then I want to do what I want to do. But you telling me I got
Mhm.
to do it this? No, I don't want to do that. I've
Right,
always
right.
been a rebel, so I'm like, nah, I ain't doing it.
But we always color outside the lines anyway, so that's how it is. Um,
Exactly.
now, as far as poetry, I know you had talked about performing at one point in
Mhm.
time. So when was your first performance? When did you first perform?
Now you gotta make me go back in my memory bank because that was a while ago. Um, damn, when was the first time? Oh, got it. I was in Hawaii. So I used to live in Hawaii. It
Okay.
was in Hawaii. They had an open mic called First Thursdays. And that was my first time. It was my 22nd birthday. It was either my 22nd or my 23rd birthday. And that was my first time performing.
So what do you remember about that? Do you remember anything about that particularly? Did anything stand out?
I wanted to pee on myself very, very badly. I was so nervous. I was so nervous. I've never been on a stage before. As far as like poetry is concerned, I've never been on a stage before in front of all these people that I don't know. Like, I don't know any of y'all. I don't even know the host. I don't know nobody. It was just me and a friend, and that was it. And I was nervous. I was shaky. But after like the first three lines, it was just like boom. Like I felt like I was meant to, it was meant for me to be there. Like I got all that jitter out and then it's just like it flowed. Then after that, I was like, oh hell yeah, I could do this.
All right, all right. So, um, as far as art, I know you've done like a few different things there in terms of like art parties or paintings, things like that.
Mhm.
How did you kind of get involved in doing those, and how did that kind of come
Because somebody told me I was good at it.
about?
Facts. And it wasn't just one person, right? It was like a plethora of people throughout like months. They were like, hey, you should do this. You should do a paint party. You should throw paint parties. And I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna, sell my originals, sell a couple
Hmm.
prints here and there. But it was just one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. Let's see how this goes. Just started telling people, yeah, I do pay. Anytime somebody asks me, hey, you do pay parties? Yep, I sure do. Here's my number. Sorry, I got to fly. Here's my number. Hit me up, let me know, and let's get the ball rolling. And it was definitely a trial and error type of thing because I've never done it before, didn't know what to do. It wasn't a whole lot of information on the internet at the time when it came to paint parties. So it was definitely trial and error. I bought too many paints, too many paintbrushes, too many cams. I bought too many of everything. But
Now,
it's cool because
what?
I'm a recycling artist, so I definitely recycle some of that material. Okay.
All right, all right. Now, I do have to ask as well.
Yeah.
What kind of inspired you in terms of what inspires your art? I should say.
Life. I know
Okay.
it's like just what life, what I go through, what I see, my children, my girls, I have two kids, so them, but more. not more than likely, but most definitely just what I'm experiencing and what I see and how I want to convey that to everybody else. And then I definitely want to inspire people, right? Because I'm really not just doing this for me, but I am doing this for me. I'm doing this for me because I want to be able to express myself and get my own personal thoughts and feelings out on the canvas and or on paper, whichever one, I choose to express myself. But when it comes to art, I definitely want anybody who looks at it be like, yo, that's dope. And have their own interpretation and really be inspired by it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, speaking of inspired, who is like a black woman that it kind of inspired you growing up and to kind of, I guess, develop into who you are now?
Besides my mom, obvious answer, right? Angela Bassett. Love me some Auntie Angela. Okay. Who else? Shoot. Jill Scott,
Mhm.
Erica Badu.
Okay.
Definitely Erica. Like, whoo, I love me some Erica. Definitely Erica. Especially when it comes to like freedom of expression, being yourself. She definitely inspired that portion of me. Jill Scott, she did with the poetry. She definitely inspired me when it comes to writing, even till this day. Still listen to her while I'm writing or while I'm trying to get my thoughts out.
Mhm.
Who else? I would have to say that's it. Yeah. So Erica Badu, Jill Scott, my mama, and Angela Bassett.
Okay. Well, hey, quick question: do you watch 911?
No.
Yeah, it's getting ready to come back on ABC.
Is it?
Yeah, it actually switches station from Fox to ABC, so it'll be out March 14th. Yeah, I'm sorry. I watched like
Okay.
I watched like yeah, I watched every season. I watched every season of that show. So
Okay.
yeah. So
Look at you.
911 and Equalizer. Those are
Yeah.
my two shows I'm not missing. So
Okay. I
mhm.
heard that. You know what? I haven't watched TV in a while. Like
I
actually
usually
sit down and watch TV. I have not done that in a while. I do need to get back into that.
yeah, those are the only two shows I literally probably watch on TV when they come on. Besides if it's a sportsman, I'm gonna watch that. But
We know you.
um but yeah, as far as TV shows, yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that. There was another show too, but I can't remember. I probably watched it on Hulu more. But I'll tell you about some more, that are on Hulu or other stations too. But that's another story for another day. But of course, we have reached the end of the show, but we are not done just yet. There is the game portion of the show. It's 5 questions, 2 answers, and 1 choice. Are
Okay.
you ready?
Maybe. Okay,
You
now I'm ready.
ready now?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. You must. All right. You got one artist, you got one concert. They are the headliner. Which artist are you taking? Big Crit or Nipsey? Nipsey
Big
Hussle.
Crit.
Okay. Yeah, you missed that. Okay. All right. Okay. I thought you might think on that one a little bit, but hey, it's all right.
Big Crit. I love me some Crit. I love Nipsey too. West Coast all the way, Big
Mm-hmm.
Crit. I actually saw him on my birthday in 2019.
Okay.
Best
All
birthday gift
right.
I've ever given myself.
Okay. All right. So written poetry or freestyle poetry?
Written poetry or freestyle poetry?
Yeah, just off the dome. Boom.
That's a hard one because I like both. I'm gonna go with freestyle.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with freestyle. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I know these two things you might like. So and I've seen one of these things happen. And I'm like, okay, what song is it gonna be this time? But poetry slam or the car karaoke sessions, which ones do you enjoy more?
Car karaoke sessions, baby.
Oh my goodness. Now for those that are listening and watching, Ashley does a mean car karaoke session. She's gonna probably give you like 2 or 3 songs. She's gonna be looking at you the entire time while she's performing, giving the head nods, giving the finger, whatever she's gonna give you. Not the finger, but just basically kind of moving, wagging the finger around, whatever, hitting all the notes. I'm like, okay, how is she doing all this and moving at the same time? I'm like, Lord, I hope she in the
Multitasking,
party
baby.
space. But yeah, that's definitely something to see. It's you never know what song. It doesn't matter if it's a male singer singing the song or a female singer. She is going to sing that song and sing it, singing it in
Sing
its
it with my
entirety.
whole chest, okay? And if it's a rap, don't let it be a rap song, baby. We gonna get lit, okay?
Right.
So check out my IG if you want some entertainment. I got you.
All right. Now, of course, 2 songs, 2 West Coast rappers. We got You Can't Play With My Yo-Yo, the Yo-Yo. Or we got Afro Puffs by the Lady of Rage. Which song you taking?
Afro Puffs.
Okay.
I used to wear Afro Puffs all the time. So yeah, Afro Puffs.
All right. And then the last one I'm gonna give you, San Diego Beach or LA Beach. Which beach would you take more?
San Diego.
San Diego. I did go to Venice though. So I've been to Venice Beach and I've been to the beach in San Diego. So I will say the San Diego weather was just a little better than the Venice Beach. Venice Beach was cold that day and the wind was blowing. I was like, what is going on here? It's supposed to be California. It's supposed to be hot.
And that's why, because it's more windy up there. It's a lot more windy up there.
Something I did not know. I guess I'm learning something. But that is 5 questions, 2 answers, and 1 choice. You are off the hot seat, and we have reached the end of the show. Now, Ashley, I'm going to give you the floor. Go ahead and tell everyone where they can find you on social media, where they can actually buy your paintings as well.
Yes.
And of course, any other things you want to tell anyone.
All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to check me out, I am on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and any other probably social media platform that I signed up for and don't even use. My handle is art with an X smart Ashley _. That's Instagram. And then everything else, which is Twitter and TikTok, is just art X X letter Ashley. It's art by Ashley, basically. I just want to encourage everybody to still continue to go after their dreams, no matter how hard it may seem. Do not give up. I promise you, it will be worth it at the end of the day. It's hard now, but once you get to that light at the end of the tunnel, you're going to be all right. Where you can find my art is by DMing me, because I don't have a website just yet, but that is coming up this year, baby. Okay. Speaking it into existence, right? So if you look on my Instagram, all of my art is on my Instagram. So if you see something you like, don't be afraid to hit me up or just send some words of encouragement. We all need that these days, right? Follow me, like me, comment, do all the things. And that's it.
All right. Well, of course, you all do know me if you've been watching the show. But anyway, you can find me, of course, on the artist formerly known as Twitter. Yeah, I do that. Show honor to Prince, of course. You can find me on the artist formerly known as Twitter at MikePatton82. That's MikePatton82 on the artist formerly known as Twitter. Now, of course, you can find me on Instagram and you can find me on Threads at that's THA, not THE, _general_NP. Touring the AFC South, you can find on all listening platforms, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, you name it, we are there. And also, you can find it on YouTube as well if you like to actually watch the show. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Go ahead and subscribe to all of those platforms, which one you like, I should say. And definitely share the show around so everyone can get some of this goodness.
Yes.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this episode of Touring the AFC South Women's History Month edition. We're out. Peace.